Hmm. Oh, okay. What? Hello? Can you... Hello? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Is it working? I don't know if you can hear me and if you can see me doing things, talking, let me know, please. You can hear and see. Okay, cool. Yay, all right. We can do it now. Yay, yay, yay. Sorry for the delay. Um, I had set up my camera before when I did a live stream before and figured it would be working still the way that it was set up, and we plugged it in like an hour and a half before we got started, and it just was like, man, I'm not gonna work. So we had been fighting it this whole time, and we just got it figured out now. It's working. Everything's fine. Can I help you? You've been quiet this whole time, and now I'm talking and you're gonna start barking. Let me know if the sound, like the music, is too loud. I can turn it down. I'm gonna do a stream for an hour. We might not be able to get through, well, we're not gonna be able to get through the whole doll this time, but I can show you how I start it, how I go about it, and then, if you guys want, I can do another live stream in the future, and we can, like, complete it. Let me know what you think. So, yes. All right. Can I help you, Kakai? I'm going to move this blanket onto my lap because my feet are right next to the vent and it's cold. I see someone, Bright Karma says, Melting Canadian says hello. I don't know where in Canada you are. And listen, we got the same issue when many years ago in Georgia, we had the snowpocalypse where we had like 2 inches of snow and the entire state shut down. Everything shut down. People were stranded on the highway. Like roads were on fire. Like it was like a insane situation over 2 inches of snow. So I'm not gonna sit here and be like you're a wimp because I understand when you're not set up for it, you're not set up for it. But I will say, my husband is from Canada, so we were talking to his sister today, and she's like, "Oh, it's so hot. It's like." I think in the U.S. it's like, that would be like 75 degrees. I think they had like a heat warning of 75 degrees. And I was like, 75 degrees is nice because it's like 90 something here. So that's just my little thing. What are you barking about? Come here then. You want attention? Okay. Everyone say hello. Hello to Gengar. I know. So, let's get started. We're gonna get started. Okay. So. You want to come up too now? I don't think I can do two people. Two dogs on my lap. Oh gosh. Alright. Here's Drakkar. Oh, you're tangled in the wire. Oh no. Okay. 115 in California. Oh boy. That's a lot of heat. I don't think I could deal with that. And again, I'm not saying like you're a baby for having it be 75, because I understand if you're not built for it, if you're not used to it, if your like city isn't used to it, it can be difficult. Like here in Georgia, when we had those 2 inches of snow, excuse you, we had those 2 inches of snow, we didn't have any trucks for salting the roads or anything. No one knows how to drive in snow. It was just a nightmare, but yeah, dang. Autumn is supposed to be starting soon, but let's face it, here in Texas, autumn is just an extended summer with rain for winter. I don't know American temperatures, but nothing should be 3 numbers. Fair point. Alright, so let's get started. I'm going to show you guys some of the first steps. So what we're going to do, one of the first things you need is wire, armature wire, something that you can pose. And it's going to go from this to, if you saw my last video on making a doll, it'll go to this. And I'll show you how I go from it step to step. And we can just hang out together and you can craft or draw alongside with me or just chat. Either way. So, we are going to start with a wire. Then you want your wire cutters, which, oh gosh, I'm shaking everything. Oh, I'm shaking everything. Okay, some wire cutters. And, oh, just hitting the dogs on the face. No big deal. I have also a doll head. I use vintage doll heads. You can buy so many doll parts on eBay and, well, let me turn down this music. It's a little loud for me. On eBay and Etsy and stuff like that, if you just type in like doll head parts, you'll come across them. And they won't just be this style. Like, you can find all different kinds. And there's some that are just like a half head, so you don't have like the whole skull here, so you can use that for other things. There's a ton, so you can kind of pick and choose what you like. But I'm doing this, so let's see. Too much hot. So what I want to do first is I'm going to essentially measure out what I think the body, how big the body is going to be with the wire. If you don't have anything to compare it to, you can just go for it. But since I have some puppets that I'm trying to stay relative to size, like the correct size, I want to make sure that it's measured correctly. Since we're doing Bebe, who is the last one of all of the puppets, Bebe and Zaza are the tallest of all of the girls, so I want to make sure that when I make Bebe, she's going to be relatively as tall as Zaza. Since we've already made Zaza, I have her doll, so I'm going to just use her as a comparison. I want to get it, but the dogs are like both on my lap, and this is going to be difficult, so I'm going to just kind of like scoot over carefully and not mess up everything. No, I just popped off my nail. Ah, everything's falling. Or almost popped off my nail. Okay. All right. So here we have the Zaza doll. And I want to make sure that whatever I do is going to be the right size. So I'm going to say I want to make sure that Bebe is, I have some length for neck. So I'm going to say about here. It's okay if she's a little shorter because Zaza is the tallest. So let's do that. So I'm going to make sure, just marking this in my head kind of, bending it down. And that's my legs and spine. And then we're going to put some arms on this baby. Let's see. Oh, I can feel how loose my nail is. I'm just wearing like press-on nails, so this thumbnail might pop off, so don't get freaked out. It's just fake. It's a fake nail. So we're gonna do this. Now we have to put in some arms. So I'm gonna just eyeball it because that's what I do. And it's okay if they're a little long. I would rather them be longer than shorter because we can always trim off excess length. Can you get them discounted if they're from Haunted Dolls? Maybe. Who knows? You can ask. You can see what a seller wants to give you. I don't know. Zaza is fabulous, looking like a classy lady. Yes, she is very fabulous. Here, I can show you another close-up if you'd like. She's holding a little muff here. This, I did not make this. This is a Barbie thing that I didn't intend for this to happen, but Barbie clothes actually fit my Puppets dolls really well. So that's a plus. But she has a ring on and a nice diamond necklace because she's a sassy, classy lady. So that's her, just, you know, just being classy. And she's on this stand just to keep her, like, standing up because they don't fully stand up on their own. They're more meant to, like, sit or something, so. But yeah, are you helping me craft, sir? Are you helping me craft? You gonna craft with me today? Thank you. You're gonna be such a good worker. Appreciate it. So, let's see. You're gonna... Thank you. Why? So, I'm going to twist this... I'm sorry, he keeps, like, putting his paw on my arm. It's very distracting. So, I'm gonna figure out where I want the neck to be, which is, like, right here. And then I'm going to twist this around. Just like this. Like a beautiful... I know, you just saw someone walk by. It's okay. So now we have these limbs. You're okay, bud. Obviously one is longer than the other, so I'm just gonna... Boop. Just like that. And then what I'm gonna do is make a T-pose. Like this. And put in, I'm gonna just twist here because I want her to have her legs in here. Actually, let's do this. I just want to basically make some hips because all my girls got them hips. And she's also very leggy, so I want there to be a shorter torso to leg ratio. So that's essentially the shape that we're doing. Would you ever customize DIY Funko Pop figure to look like one of your characters? I kind of figured you'd connect the wire with a JB weld or something. No, I just twist it and then you'll see when I put yarn around it, it'll hold it in place. To answer the Funko Pop one, I've never thought of doing them. Okay, no judgment to anybody who has them. I personally don't like Funko Pops figures. This isn't shade to anybody who does like them. I personally just am not a fan. Like, they don't really do it for me, so I don't collect them or anything like that. I prefer to collect creepier things. I collect vintage dolls. Actually, I just got this shipment in. These vintage dolls. And, this is from the 60s, and I got 3 of them for like a really good price, but I get them for like inspiration, so I can kind of see how they do it. This is what would be called a pose doll, and because like you can pose their limbs. And then the face on these vintage dolls, I've never figured out how to do this, but it looks like it's styrofoam or foam that's been molded, and then it has this like fabric put over it. I don't know if you'll be able to tell. this almost like fabric that's been glued on top, and then they paint the face on. I still don't know how exactly they did this, but I love it. So I have a few of these as a collection. So yeah, if you ever come across vintage dolls, let me know and I might buy them off of you. So now that we have this like creepy skeleton. This is essentially what we're doing. We're gonna put yarn, wrap it in yarn. Where's my yarn? Hi, sir. Let's see. Where did my yarn go? I need to get my yarn, and both of you are on my lap, and you're making this very difficult for me to, like, move around. Okay. Hold on. Let me get my yarn. I thought I had it out, but I guess not. And there goes my nail. My fake nail. Okay. Where did my yarn go? I had it. Oh, here. Okay. So, at this point, I take yarn, I make it's okay, this is going to move around, but we're going to keep it in place once we wrap the yarn around it. I make a little loop here for the foot. The feet, like these. And then we're gonna take some yarn. We're gonna thread it through. So this is the way that I've been doing it, but I will say I've recently discovered some green foam that I got at Joann's, which I will show you. I have a big sheet of it, but I have this as an example. This foam here. And I've been playing around with this and using this as like basically a body filler instead of yarn. But since all of the other girls are made of yarn, I figured I'm just going to go about it this way so that they all kind of look uniform. But at this point, we're just going to wrap. The reason why I'm doing yarn or like putting some filler essentially in is because I don't want to waste all of my needle or all of my wool. I really only need to treat it like skin, kind of. So this is basically, I'm like building the muscle structure or like the flesh, the actual flesh of the character. So I just do this, wrap it. I need it to be soft so that I can put the wool on top and like needle felt the wool on top, and it'll, you know, knot up with the yarn and stay in place. I don't want to put like plastic or anything, because then when I stab through it, my needle will hit the plastic or the foam or the clay or whatever, and it'll break. So I need something soft underneath the wool so that I don't break my needles. And you might be thinking, but Savannah, you have a wire underneath. What if your needle hits the wire? And to that I say, yes, it has. And then you would say, wouldn't that break your needle? And I would say again, yes, it has. So this is not a foolproof way. I have broken needles. Just want to break them as little as possible. So always get a pack of needles for, like, you know, in case you inevitably break one. Well, I'm doing this. Let me see what people say. From the 60s, probably with lead-based paint. Probably. Last year I found a little Miss Muffet doll from Madame Alexander's Storyland doll from 1993. She's so adorable. I got her for $1. Yes. Madame Alexander dolls, they're not the type of dolls that I collect, but I know a lot of people who do collect. Well, I don't know them personally, but I know a lot of people collect them. And there are some really rare ones that I think you can get like a good amount of money for, actually. Sometimes they sell well online. The cool thing about vintage stuff in general is that the older it is, the higher the value of it goes up. So it's pretty cool. There's always going to be somebody out there who wants something vintage. So we're just going to keep wrapping this. And just wrap and wrap and wrap and wrap. Yay, I made it to the live. Hi, Job Page. Please correct me if I'm saying it wrong. Hello, hello, and welcome. Enjoy the live. We are just making this little doll. We're currently building out her body. This part just takes a lot of wrapping. That's it. Oh. Why are they barking? So just wrap here. This is what I get for having dogs. Having Pomeranians specifically. Who are natural alert dogs, so they alert, which means that they alert at everything. The minute there's like a sound that they don't recognize, they're like, a thing's happening, I need you to know. And then Drakkar, I love him, but he's my precious stupid child, and he just barks because he hears Gengar barking. So, alright, so here's how we're gonna stop the arms from moving. So I basically wrap like diagonally across like this, kind of hold it in place where I want it, twist around, wrap across again like this, and I'm just going to kind of keep doing that and tighten it, and that will eventually hold it in place like this. Wrap, 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 wrap. Oh. And then wrap, wrap, wrap. And then I wrap this way around the arms a little. Just like this. And then wrap down. It's just a lot of wrapping to build out the bulk of the figure. Car. Enough. Thank you. Just like this. And then we're gonna wrap the arms. See, like now this is kind of in place, so. Just a lot of wrapping. This part's not super interesting. We're not going to do a lot on the arm because we can bulk that out with some needle felting stuff, some wool. Then I'm going to... Excuse you, sir. Stop stealing my yarn. No. Get out of here. Stop. This isn't your toy. Jeez. Little thief. Okay. I'm going to wrap around this way. And then, since I have it on this side, I'm going to close this in just to keep it from unraveling. Like that. This looks fun. I mostly crochet little plushies. Maybe I should add a wire skeleton to pose them. Yes, that would be really cute. You should totally do that. I like adding the wire skeleton there because you can, that exactly it. You can pose them into something and it's really fun that way. So, just wrapping. Gengar, I know exactly what you're trying to do right now. You're trying to get into trouble. Little demon. Okay. So we got those arms down. And now we're going to just go over some spots. I don't want to bulk up the waist too much because she has a pretty tiny waist. But I am going to bulk up the thighs by basically doing that like cross wrap. Like this, like we're doing kind of like a figure 8 in a way. And going down and back up because I want the thighs to be thicker. I'm gonna go down, back up. But she's a little more, she has more of like a slender athletic build. So I want to keep my yarn body not as like bulky as some of my other characters who are a little more voluptuous ladies. I'll twist down here, back up, and tangled. I hope you guys all enjoy my royalty-free music that's playing. You know, just some good tunes, royalty-free tunes. Okay, we're almost at the end of the yarn process. I'm just gonna add some more here, and then we're gonna go down this leg. It's am I tangled? Ah! I'm tangled. Oh no. What happened? Okay, well, here, we're gonna come down here. I'm gonna cut this. Thread it through. Ah! And tie it. Weirdly enough, this is easier to do with long nails because your long nails can kind of like push things through that my chunky little fat fingers can't do. They act as like needles for me. So just gonna tie this, cut off this piece, and we have a fleshed out body. And then, well, obviously we'll add a neck in here, but so that's what it'll look like. We have this just like torso, and then we're gonna start adding the skin. on here, which is wool. When did you start making dolls? This year. A few months ago. I want to say I started doing it... When did I start? Like March or something like that? You hear no music? Oh, you hear no tunes? I've just been vibing on my own over here and you haven't heard any of it. Oh no. Can you hear it now? Can you hear the music now or no? Let me know if you can hear it. Oh, okay, cool. It was just turned down too low. I think that's why. There we go. Let me know if it's too loud or too quiet. Like if you can barely hear it or if it's getting too loud. Add the skin. I love doll making. Yes, add the skin. Doll making is so funny to me too because you just have like limbs and body parts just like hanging around, you know? I constantly am like, oh, well, here's another hand that I found. Okay, let's put on some skin. Some wool. Wool skin. I have a bunch of looks vicious. It's very large and scary and a little intimidating. I'm gonna move this yarn out of the way. Plug this bad boy in. Ah, I'm tangled in all my wires. I'm just plugging this in down here. Alright. So when you're needle felting, here's the thing. This is getting... Okay. When you're needle felting, you need to have... Woo! Just dropped it. I don't know if you can tell, I'm a chaotic mess when I'm working on stuff. It's just like things everywhere, stuff being thrown around, stuff falling. You know, I don't know. I'm just chaotic. So, when you're needle felting, you're gonna want a mat, like a pad like this, because when you have your needle, this is kind of bent. Oops, what did I do? You're gonna have like, you see how it has like a needle here? When you're stabbing stuff, you don't want to like stab into it plastic or anything like that. You need to be able to have it go through stuff and not bend or break your needle. Like this one's kind of bent, so obviously I hit something, probably a wire. You can get a few different tools. There's this one, and then there's this one that has like, you can fill it with multiple needles, so you can needle felt faster. And then, if you want to be crazy, you can buy one of these guns that goes at like Mach speed. And they're cool, but they're also a little scary. And I know one day I'm going to chop, like, stab into my finger. So that's why we use that. And one of these just in case. These are coverings for our fingers, like this, so we don't stab ourselves. I've been really into watching your vintage cartoon makeover drawings. Totally Spies is one of my favorites. Oh, I'm glad that you like it. I've been having a lot of fun making them. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. Okay. So, this is wool roving or batting. I think it's batting. There's a difference. I can't remember the difference, but there is a difference. I think this is wool batting. So what we do is we're going to basically wrap the skin around this, just like so. And I'm gonna put on protection. And I'm going to take my gun. And we're just gonna stab. Just like so. I'm doing it with a very light hand because I don't want to smash into the wire base. So I'm just kind of doing it lightly on the outside. Just enough to kind of adhere it, because once we adhere it, we're going to build it up. So just like putting on a thin base right now. Like so. Don't forget to flip her over and do this side. Make sure you get everything. Like so, like this. You have to pay attention to what you're doing because this is making needles go at like a crazy rate, so you don't want to accidentally stab yourself. It just takes like going over your space over and over again, kind of, just to make sure you have it all kind of adhered like this. And we're just gonna keep doing that. The needle gun looks scary. I'm fairly certain that's for tattoos. No, actually this isn't for tattoos. It is specifically made for needle felting. It is a 3D printed needle felting gun I got off of Etsy for needle felting. Like, that's what it says it's for. But I'm sure that it uses a very similar concept. I am assuming technically would probably be well, actually, I don't want to say you could get a needle tattoo gun because you might not be able to, but this was made specifically for needle felting. And yes, it is a little scary, but it's okay. Like, once you kind of get the hang of it, it's like, you know, the beast. So you're like, okay, I can oh, see, that's why we wear protection, because it just hit my finger. Just stab, stab, stab. Just like this. If you end up getting one of these, please don't hurt yourself. I'm not responsible for any injuries that you may get from using this gun. I don't know if you can get them right now, though, because all of the ones that I saw online were all from Russia. And I got this one from Russia, like, before everything happened with the war, so I don't know if it's still possible. I'm sure somebody else makes them, but I know there's, like, sanctions and stuff, so. But I did get it off of Etsy, so I don't know if maybe that helps or doesn't help. So we're just, this is like, we're just literally just stabbing forever. Stab. So yeah, how are you guys? What are you up to? What projects are you working on? Do you have any questions for me? Do you want to talk about anything? Like, do you want to talk about dogs, art, vintage, dolls? These are my interests. Hit me with any questions or anything. But now's the time because I'm just needle felting some skin onto her. Just wrap this on. Whiz Beef, hello. You should use ink at the same time than if you then if you get a tattoo. Multitasking. Yeah, that would be a great tattoo because it would just be like Got any doll or puppet plans for the upcoming holidays? I have a plan. It's not a doll, but I do have a puppets plan right now. Trying to figure out if I should, well, I guess I could talk about it, because I plan on having them for Dragon Con, and then, like, also having them up on my website, but I am making, essentially, a fake website, not website, what am I saying? A fake magazine that's based off of the magazine, like, the catalogs that you would get in the mail from, like, the 1950s and 1960s for clothing, but it's all gonna be Puppets art, and it's all gonna be them in different fashion from you know, like 50s and 60s fashion, but it's gonna be Halloween and Christmas themed. So there's gonna be a section for Halloween outfits, and there's gonna be a section for holiday outfits, and it'll look like you can order them, but you can't, I'm sorry, because they're not real clothes. So it's kind of like an art book, but also like a magazine, and like an homage to basically like Fredericks of Hollywood magazines from the 50s and 60s, because I collect those and I have a bunch of them, and the outfits are so good in them, and I was like, I just want to do this but with the puppets. So yeah, that'll be coming up actually, so you'll be able to get it for the holidays, and they'll have like spreads in there for, you know, different Halloween outfits and Christmas outfits and stuff like that. It'll be the same quality as a hand poke home piece, so that is true. It sounds like you want one. You can come over and I'll give you a stick and poke tattoo, but with my needle felting gun. Sounds like that you enjoy that. I'll close my eyes and we'll see what comes out, huh? But yes, I'm very excited about the magazine. I'm actually working with my best friend, who is a graphic designer. Like, that's her job, her day job. So she makes like magazines and stuff for her job. And her and I are working together on it. I've known her for like 26 years, I think. She's like my sister, essentially, at this point. So we're working on it together, and we're going to be mimicking like a lot of stuff, like how catalogs looked in that time. So it'll be like you're getting a mail-in or like a catalog you'd get in the mail, but it'll be in color, and you can't get any of the clothes. Sorry. I wish you could, believe me. I don't know how I would ever do that, but yeah. So you'll just have to look at them and be sad with me, because that's how I feel every time I look at Fredericks of Hollywood stuff from the 50s and 60s. Funny enough, Fredericks of Hollywood is still around, but now they're like, it ain't the same. I'll just say that. It is not the same. It's more like kind of just like regular, normal lingerie and like Halloween costumes, like whatever. It's not anything like they used to do it. They used to have amazing outfits. And if I take a small break from this or whatever, if I get a chance, maybe I can show you guys, because I have a bunch of them. I have a bunch of the magazines from that time, and they're just like, ugh, they're amazing. And I don't know if any of you follow me on TikTok, because I have some examples of me scrolling through, gosh, I've been on the computer for way too long, flipping through, so you can kind of see how they, like, what the magazines looked like at that time. They're so cool, and they're all illustrated. I could make a YouTube video on it too if anyone wants to see it. So we're just bulking up her legs and covering her body in the skin, essentially. I just want to make sure everything's kind of adhered. Rachel! Hi, I love you! Let's see. Will you be vending at any cons in the future? I'd love to see your booth set up every time. So this year I'm only doing Dragon Con, unfortunately. It's just, I mean, well, we all know what the years have been like. But I want to start doing more conventions, and I'm hoping that I can start traveling more. I do want to do more like up in Northeast, because I have family and friends up there, because I'm not originally from Georgia. I'm originally from Connecticut. So I have like family and friends who still live up there, and I'm hoping that in the future, I'm hoping maybe next year I can start doing some of those like conventions in Connecticut or Boston or New Hampshire or something like that. Also, I'm looking into conventions in like Florida and South Carolina, ones that are like around Georgia that are easy for me to drive to. I've been trying to get into Lightbox in California for the past like 3 years, but I don't know this for sure, but I think they prioritize people who like live in California versus people who don't. So I haven't been able to get in, unfortunately. It's a little harder when you have to fly out to places, because then you have to be like, what am I going to bring? Like, what am I shipping? Stuff like that. But that's my plan. I did a convention in Wisconsin in 2019, and it was OhioCon or something. No, DaishoCon, that's what it was, DaishoCon. And I really liked it, and they actually brought me on as a guest, so they like got me to come out for that, and I really enjoyed that. So like, if there's ever any conventions that want to take me as a guest, like, hell yeah, like I'll come out for that. But yeah, so to answer, that was my really long-winded way of answering your question of yes, I plan on doing more conventions in the future. Has anyone seen the trailer for the reboot of A League of Their Own? I haven't seen the trailer, but I've seen it floating around. I haven't gotten to watch it yet. I'm like nervous to watch it because I like A League of Their Own, like the original 90s, like perfect 90s movie, but Tell me if it's good, because I've been scared. Have you ever thought about making a coloring book? I've played with the idea here and there, but I've never fully explored it. I didn't know if people would actually want a coloring book or not. So I don't know if that's something that you guys want. Let me know, and I can look into it for sure. Just put some skin on her arms. I keep saying skin. It's not skin, it's wool, but I mean it kind of is like her skin. The skin. It's really funny hearing your idea. A buddy of mine is making a ROM hack that he's going to sell homemade strategy guides to in the same vein. That sounds really cool. Who am I making a doll of? I'm making Bebe. Hi, Cuzzo. Did you guys get the hat back? Yes. Yes, we got the hat. Thank you for sending it. Bruno was really missing it. I appreciate you sending it. It was sorry that we kept asking about it, but Bruno was like, I miss my hat. It just stab in here. Oh gosh, you can hear me hitting the wire. Oh no! Oh! Ah! Yikes! Careful. Careful, SpongeBob, careful. I don't know if this, like, super dates me, but does anyone just, like, go through life quoting SpongeBob? Like, it's just always and forever. There's a SpongeBob quote for every scenario. Because that's me. Because I quote SpongeBob religiously for everything. And then the people who haven't seen SpongeBob just look at me and I'm like, it's from SpongeBob, and then they just kind of roll their eyes and I'm sad. And I'm like, oh. Oh, they're a loser! Just kidding. It's me, I'm the loser. We're getting there, we're getting there. I'll regularly feel also to make sure that spots are like, I can tell when something isn't really like adhered to the wool very well and others are, like it feels tighter. I don't know if that makes sense in my explanation, but if it feels loose, I'll go back over, because basically what the needles do, if you've seen my other videos, I've explained it, but I can explain it again. The needles are barbed, like very slightly in here. And the wool is kind of like, it's not super straight, so when you stab into the wool, it basically like knots it up into tiny little knots, and like condenses it. So the more you stab in one spot, the more you're like condensing all of the wool together, and that's how it like kind of holds its shape. So if you want places to be more, like if you want like a hole or something to be tighter or whatever, you'll want to keep stabbing in that spot over and over again. Essentially, is how it works. Stab, 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 stab. We just stabbing away. Just like these. You weren't being sluggish, you're fine. Sounds like popcorn popping. Yes, SpongeBob is the best. SpongeBob quotes are solid 86% of my spoken language. Yes, same. It's something I am always saying, always quoting. So what is the gun doing? It, like what I explained with this, oh gosh. What I explained with this is it's just doing this and like knotting everything together, but just really fast. Just at like supersonic speed. So instead of me sitting here and being like, you know, with like one needle just hanging at, yeah. It goes much faster this way with the gun. I mean, this one goes faster too, because you basically have a bunch of them, so you can do this. And sometimes I'll do it if I want like certain spots. If I just need like a certain spot kind of pressed in. Because this one has like multiple needles. Scary. But this one you can just go at super speed, and you can hold up to 4 needles in there. I don't know if you can see that you can put 4. There's like gunk in this one. It's just like a bunch of wool. But I don't normally need 4 needles, so 3 I find is usually enough. And then you can take them out and have like 1 or 2 needles. If you have 2 needles, it kind of creates more like a line. So if you're making lines on something, you usually want to do it with 2 needles. And then 1 needle's like for detailing. If that makes sense. Let's cover this. And then, because we're basically like almost done with her like initial flesh suit that we're putting on her, then we can start like building out her like figure, kind of like more of her shape, as opposed to just like her generic skin on top. If that makes sense. Babe. Babe. Have to be careful on this section because it's just a bunch of wire. Oh! Oh! Careful, SpongeBob! Careful, SpongeBob! Careful, SpongeBob! Concentrating. Where are you? What is this? Get out of here. Rude. Save. Oh. Trying to be careful. Just want to make sure all of this is kind of adhered in the armpits and stuff like that, and spots that maybe I haven't gotten. Alright. So now we have the basic flesh suit that's on there. It's just like generic skin to cover the yarn. So at this point we're gonna start adding like the boobs and the butt and like, you know, defining some features, like making some more shape to her legs and some more shape to her arms. So because she's kind of more slender, I want to keep her on the slender side, so we're gonna just go right in and add like boobs and butt and then smooth it out, and I'll show you how I smooth it out. I'm just keep forgetting like where I'm supposed to talk. I'm sorry. I'm just like talking like at the window, even though you guys are right there because I'm dumb. I watched the trailer for the reboot. I'm also a fan of the original, but the trailer looks good. Oh, good. Looks like we'll see more into black women working to be baseball players too. Oh, that's good. I'm glad. Did you 3D print that tool? No, I didn't. I bought it off of Etsy and someone else 3D printed it. A bunch of these songs remind me of the Munsters. Yeah, probably. They're all just generic, like, license-free stuff. But they're all like 60s vibes, 60s jams, so the Munsters had a lot of that too, so. So for the boobs and the butt, we're going to make like a ball, essentially. And I'm just gonna, I don't need the gun for this. I'm just just gonna stab and make like a loose, weird shape like this. And we're gonna attach it onto her. Like so. And this is actually where I'd be using a detailing one because I just want to make sure that I get it in the right spots. I don't need the gun for this. So I'm just stabbing to adhere. Stab, stab, stab. Also just cleaning up some edges and stabbing the boobs. Stabbing the boobs. So we have like a basic little lump here, and then we're gonna put some butt here. Ryan MC, hey Savannah, hope you're doing well. Hello, hello, hope you're doing well. Cool tool. Seeing these puppet dolls keep making me think of that movie Cats Don't Dance. I love Cats Don't Dance. That was a good one. Good movie. Let's make a butt. On that note, let's make a butt. I'm just gonna put a little butt here. Actually, you know what? We're gonna do this instead. I'm gonna make one ball like this. Stab. And then stab. Like this. And now we have one butt cheek. Some nice music for building a butt. It's best to do needle felting to the beat. It's my tip to you. Just kidding, don't do that, it makes it harder. We're just stabbing and adhering one butt cheek because I'm kind of treating it as like two separate things, and we're gonna blend it in, but right now we're just building the cheek. Just like that. The direction that you felt in also will build it up in that direction. Does that make sense? So like if you're just stabbing down, it's gonna squish it down. If you stab, like if you have stuff on top, I don't know where you're gonna see this. If you have stuff on top and then you stab like this way, it's gonna push it like that, if that makes sense. So the direction that you stab is like the direction it's gonna kind of knot up. So there's one butt cheek, and then we're gonna add another butt cheek. So just get another lump of just like these, just enough to like kind of hold its shape. And so stick another stick the cheek on here. Like so. It's okay if it's not perfectly even, because like I said, this is just building the base, and then we're gonna add stuff over it to like smooth it out. And in that process, we can always add like a little more wool. It's kind of like sculpting with clay, but instead it's with wool. So here's a butt. Uh-oh. What happened? Did it fall asleep? Hello? Hello? Camera? What's going on? Uh-oh, what happened? Maybe my battery died? This is very sassy music for figuring out a camera situation. There we go. It was the battery. There we go. Okay. Is it back up? Hold on. Yay! Okay. We fixed it. Some sexy Nikon music for fixing the camera. Alright, so here we go. Here's the butt. Some sexy music for that butt. Ooh, look at her. Look at that body. This is her sexy dance. Shake the butt. Okay. Now, we're gonna smooth it out a little bit. So how we do this is, because I want more of like a hard line here, and then I want to smooth it up into the back. What I'm gonna do is get like a little piece of wool. I'm gonna roll a little bit. Please ignore my nail that popped off while I was doing all of this stuff. I don't know where the glue is. I don't have time to fix it. And we're gonna basically put like the rolled part down here by her thigh, and then all of this part that's loose is just gonna go blend like up her back. Does that make sense? So we're gonna take this needle, gonna adhere it just like this. Just gonna blend the butt in. And then what I can do is get my gun. Just make sure that that's kind of attached and blended on, like so. Oh, chill out. Chill out, baby. This takes the utmost concentration. Make sure it's blended on the side here. And you're gonna see like this kind of hard line, but it's okay because we're gonna blend that too, and I'm gonna show you. It's all just about like putting in chunks and then blending it out with the wool, like so. go over the butt cheek just to adhere everything on. And then we have one smooth butt cheek. See? And we can also smooth out this line, and I'm gonna do that because it's kind of like a hard, like, shelf in here. I don't know if you can tell. Wait, there. You can see how it just kind of like cuts in. We're gonna smooth that out too by putting some more like loose pieces that go up and over. Well, we got one butt cheek down, so now we're gonna put the other butt cheek on. All that booty talk and booty dancing is gonna get you demonetized. I know, I better watch out. YouTube's gonna come for me. Actually, I'm not monetized yet. So I can do whatever I want, technically. I'm not monetized at all, so I can just go wild if I wanted to, but then I don't think I would ever be able to get monetized. Not that I would go wild. I'm just saying. I'm just talking. Just talking to talk. Help me. Save me. Savannah, shut up. Stop talking. I mean, keep talking, because you're talking to people. Stab. Put on the butt. Oh, she has an uneven butt. Hold on. Gonna move it, scoot it down a little bit. There we go. Going with this gun, smoothing all of the pieces, just like these. Don't get my thumb. Flip her over, get this side. Adhere all of that down. And look at that. We got a shapely butt. This is my favorite part. It always cracks me up every single time I make it. Every time I make a butt, I'm like a 5-year-old because I'm just like, butt. Like laughing to myself like an idiot. So yeah, we got a butt. I'm off. Nice to catch you live. Thanks for the neat content. Yeah, no problem. Bye. Thanks for stopping by, Grant. Floofy booty. Looks like very tedious, detailed work. Just the art version of being an accountant. Yeah, exactly. Actually, I think the art version of being an accountant is like NSFW work, but probably. Actually, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe this is it. I don't know. So we got the booty. And now we're just gonna blend the butt a little bit and add a little more like shape to her legs. So I'm gonna put the fold where the joint is, so it'll be more seamless when we add the calf part. We're gonna put the like loose wool part over this line that's gonna develop, if that makes sense. So I'm just gonna stab this here. And then we're gonna, I just stab it to kind of hold it in place. And then I'm gonna blend up. Just like these. I'm gonna stop like around the butt cheek, but we might have to go in and add some extra stabbing in that area just to make sure we still keep the shape. But adding like the loose soft wool and not bunching it up or anything kind of softens out everything. And then you might have to go back in and add the detail back a little bit. Like this. Make sure that this side gets done. Stab the dies. Like a so. So you can see that we kind of lost a little bit of shape, but that's okay because we can kind of go back in with our detail needle. And this okay, I like making the butt cheeks, but then once it comes to defining it, I always feel really, really apologetic for the places I have to stab. I'm so sorry. Trigger warning, maybe I'm stabbing the butt and stuff to make defined shapes. So, apologize. But we basically go in and just like add the shapes back. And so like the more areas you stab, the more the wool gets tangled, and then the tighter it gets, and then the more of like a defined shape or line you get. So we don't have as much of a butt cheek here anymore, but if we go in and we start stabbing in the shape of a butt cheek, you know, we start to develop it again. Sometimes we'll just twist and try to get these loose pieces. And voila, we have a butt cheek. And make sure you like look at it from all angles, right? So looking at it at this angle, I'm like, it still looks kind of flat, so I'm gonna like stab down this way to kind of flatten this and push this out more. But remember, if it's ever too flat or too less of a shape, we can always go back in and add more wool. Oh yeah, there we go. We smoothed this out. Now we're gonna smooth out this leg. I know you have some other characters in mind for your vintage makeover drawings. You should totally draw Gem in the holograms in a vintage style. That's a good idea. I actually didn't think of that. They're very quintessentially 80s, so I'd have to figure out a different decade to put them in, but that might be fun because they're also like musicians, so whatever decade I put them in, they would be musicians in that decade. So like if you listen to this music, it could be like, oh, let's make them a little like 1920s jazz whatever. It would be kind of cute, whatever. I think that'd be fun. That's a good idea. I'll definitely take that into consideration. Stab, stab, stab. Adhere it. Blend it. There is a reason why I haven't made these dolls to sell yet, and it is because they take a lot of time. There's a lot of love and care that goes into creating them, but they take a lot of time, and I just feel bad because in order to, I guess, like get my worth in cost for how much time I put into them, it would be a lot of money. I'm always like, I hate pricing things. I really hate it. It makes me really anxious. I get such bad anxiety pricing things because all I can think of is like I have to make a living, I have to make you know, make money off of my stuff in order to survive, but then also at the same time, like, I know everyone else is doing the same thing and trying to get through life and survive and eat and whatever, pay their rent and pay their mortgage and pay whatever, and I'm like really cognizant of that, so I'm like, oh, I don't want to, you know, charge a lot of money for stuff because people need to survive, and my stuff is not anything that's important. Like, it's just art. It's not anything that you need to survive. But then I'm like, but I also need to survive. And then I get into this whole thing, and then I get all existential and sad, and then I'm like, what do I do? Everything's crazy. I think there's a reason why they're called starving artists, or we're called starving artists, is because I think so many artists are just not like business or like money minded. We just like create to create because we're like, it's fun, I like to make things, and then people are like, well, how are you gonna live? And you're like, I'm gonna make things, and they're like, but you need to live off of that. And you're like, oh, I forgot. Dang it. This is my daily struggle. Sorry. Venting. Ranting. Stabbing the butt cheeks and the butt crack again. Gosh, I'm 5 years old. I'm sorry. I'm like, put the butt crack in. What if you drew Betty Boop but make her 80s? That's fun. That would be fun to do. Instead of pricing them, you could always raffle them. That's true. Like, people buy raffle tickets, and then whoever gets it, gets it. That'd be pretty cool. I thought of doing that for Dragon Con, actually, because I'm making a bunch of dolls for Dragon Con as, like, one-of-a-kind pieces. They're not the needle-felted ones. They're a little quicker for me to make. They're, like, fabric ones, kind of, but I'm thinking of doing a raffle. But we'll see. Raffle is a good idea. Okay, so we got the butt. Check out that booty. So we have a butt in here. Twerk, twerk. So now what we're gonna do is blend. Actually, let's make the chest blend down, and then we're gonna blend up thighs and stuff like that. So, maybe a little more than that. We're just gonna take this and lay it on top. The wrist would be better. Roll the bottom. And since there's a neck here, we're gonna split this and wrap it around the shoulders like so. And stab in this part. Stab, stab, stab. It's just a lot of stabbing. If you're ever angry at anything, this is a good activity to do. Just stab out all of your frustrations. I'm not going to use the gun here because I have to be very careful on where I'm stabbing. And I can be like lighter handed with this than the gun. Get in the armpits. and the shoulders. On this side. Careful, SpongeBob. The armpit on this side. And then the back. Like so. I can feel the wire, so I want to make sure that I'm not hitting it. So I have to just be very careful with how I'm stabbing. So I'm concentrating. Just concentrating and trying to get all of this wool adhered. Okay, there we go. She got a little flattened out, so we're gonna just push some shape back into her by stabbing this way. And then like up like this. Okay, there we go. So now we have a chest, and what we're gonna do is we have like the basic shapes on stuff. Now here's the thing is, like, for me the butt's a little too flat still, and we want to like build out and smooth out some of this part, even though it's going to be covered mostly by clothes. I don't know, I just like to make myself difficult. I think technically I could stop and put clothes on her and be like, we did it, but I'm extra, I don't know. So I'm just gonna wrap like this. I'm just gonna wrap it so you have like all of this loose wool, and that'll smooth it out. Gonna use the gun to adhere it all to the body, like so. Broken leg. Stress relief doll stabbing. Makes it feel like a voodoo doll. Yeah, kind of. Just don't imbue any bad vibes into the doll. Flip her over, make sure you get this side. Get out of here. Getting any of this scraggler stuff. I think what we'll do is finish the body, and then I think we'll stop the live stream once the body's done. And then if you guys want, what we can do is I can do another live stream at a later date, and we can finish it, like finish up the doll, which would be painting the head and doing like the hair and putting the clothes on, essentially. Yes, BT, hi. Okay. So let me know if that's something you want. My cat is deciding to be affectionate now. It's always when I'm in the middle of doing something and she's like, I want attention. Not the times where I'm like, oh, I'm just sitting on the couch watching something. She's like, don't touch me. It's when I'm like working on something and she's like, you can pet me, right? So we've smoothed out this side. I don't know if you can tell that it's a little smoother and nicer looking than this. We're gonna put another side on that. In your Puppets universe, are there any other animals or just dogs and cats? I've been asked this before. It's led to my own existential crisis in my world, and I decided that it's just dogs and cats in order to make things simple. Is my answer. And there are no animal pets, if that makes sense, because that trips me up. I'm always like, wait, why do they have a dog, but they're a dog? You know what I mean? So. But yes, just dogs and cats in the Puppets universe. I haven't decided if, like, other animals... Well, I assume other animals exist as just animals, but not as, like, humanoid, anthro... furries. I guess, essentially. That's where you always get... It gets weird, right? Like, how did they become... sentient? Well, no, every animal's sentient. I mean, like, how did they become whatever humans are? Oh, BT, I almost got your tail. Can you not? That would have been bad. BT, you're gonna get your tail stabbed, ma'am. Part 2 to live stream. Yes, please. I would love to see more streams like this. Ooh, I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you guys are having a good time. I can do more streams like this too, where it's not even just dolls. It's like, you know, I could be drawing or something, maybe. I was thinking of doing, at some point, I could do like a live stream of doing like dog illustrations or something. I don't know. Just something in the future. Maybe I'll hold a poll or something once I get monetized and get those features, because I'm not monetized on YouTube yet. In order to get monetized, you have to have 1,000 subscribers, which I have, but then you have to have 4,000 hours of watch time. So I'm currently trying to build up my 4,000 hours of watch time in order to get monetized. So I've been releasing videos every week. I think once I get monetized, I might do like 3 times a week. Not 3 times a week, what am I saying? 3 times a month instead of like every single time. Or I might do like 3 videos and 1 live stream or something. I don't know. I'm kind of winging it and figuring out what will work, but if you guys like the live stream, let me know as an option. Or if you like them better than videos, like, let me know, because that's also a thing. I could do more live streams in general. If you just like hearing me talk. If you just like hearing my dumb voice. Alright, smooth out this. Oh wait, I forgot to get up here. Step, get up in here. Like so. Okay. So now we have, like, you know, a more smoothed out shape. I'm going to just smooth out the arms with a detail needle, because the arms don't really need to be, I don't need to add anything to them, I just need to kind of shape them. And so in order to shape them, I just have to stab. Just takes precision stabbing. And it doesn't have to be exact, at least in this part, because we're gonna add, like, glue the hands on. And the hands will cover it. I just want to, like, have some shape. She's supposed to be more, like, athletic and muscular, but I feel like adding a muscle shape is going to be kind of hard on this. So we're just going to kind of keep it more basic, because all of the girls, like, all of their bodies are kind of simplified for doll form anyway. And I could technically go into a lot of detail with this. That's one thing that I like about needle felting, is, like, you can get really, really detailed, because you can sculpt in with, like, wool, and depending on how tight you go with sculpting and, you know, how much wool you add in certain spots, you can get the shapes that you're looking for. But since the design themselves is all kind of simplified, I'm just going to stick with that. Step. Like this. There we go. So we got the arms a little more down, because what we're gonna do is stick the arms on like that. I should have a white set to match the head. They don't come white like this. I have to airbrush them, so you can see the base color here. So I have to airbrush them. So I do airbrush the hands and stuff too. So I have to double check and make sure I have white hands. If I don't, I'm gonna have to airbrush them. But I mean, technically I could add a little more to her backside, because it is looking a little flat. You can do a stream where you pack orders from your shop. Is that something you would want to see? I didn't think anyone would find that interesting. Like, is that something that you actually would like? But also, to be fair, I don't get enough orders to do like a big giant pack time thing. It only takes me like 10 minutes. Because they kind of just trickle in, so I do them when I get them and then that's it. But, I mean, in the future, if it goes well, I could. I'm just shaping out her legs a little bit. And I'm gonna add some calf muscle. So I'm gonna take a little bit actually, and we're gonna wrap it like so. Actually, you know what we're gonna do? Because I only want it on the back. I don't want any bulk on the front. So I'm gonna take like a little bit like this. Make it just like a narrow section. I have my spot where basically my joint is gonna be, which is like here. So I'm gonna put the calf muscle down here. And then I'm gonna wrap this like so. And hold it in place. Stab it in. Stab, stab, stab. Like so. I actually probably could get out my gun for this, because it allows me to just kind of move along in a more seamless motion. Now, if you get into needle felting, I will say first thing is you don't need this gun. This is more like, I got this as like an investment because I knew I was going to be making a bunch of these things. If you're just doing stuff like here and there, you really don't need it. So it's not like a necessary tool, it's just something that makes it easier in the future. If you end up making needle felted stuff a lot, you know, and you want something that'll cut down on time. But it's not a requirement by any means. Added like a little bit of shape here. I don't know if you can tell. Oh, let's see if you can tell. See, there's like a little bit of shape, but we can add more. Yes, can I help you, sir? Okay, don't come here then. Stab. Just gonna get this shape, just refine it a little bit with the detail. The detail one. Like so. Make sure you, like when you're needle felting, that you're rotating and looking at it from different angles, because it might look right from one angle, but then when you rotate it you realize like, oh, it doesn't look right from this angle, and then you'll know where to stab for your next section. So make this joint. Like this. See? We got a leg. I love how the body is looking. Thank you. Did you ever finish those zodiac paintings I saw on TikTok? It was one of the first things I saw from you, from my For You page. No, I didn't. I need to. What happened? Something happened and I got thrown off of it. But I do need to finish them. It, like, sits mocking me in the back of my mind. Like, you need to finish this. You're almost there. And you know what I did, too, is I left my zodiac sign, Libra, for the end because I was like, this is my sign. This is the one that I, like, care about the most, obviously, because it's my sign. So I'm going to leave it at the end to, like, motivate me to go all the way through and finish it. That didn't really work out very well for me, huh? What happened? Oh, I remember. I got laid off. That's what happened. The job I was working at a studio at the time, and the project we were working on fell through. The company that had, like, gotten our studio to work on it decided to pull the studio from working on it, so they didn't have any choice. They had to lay off, like, everybody who was working on the project. So I got laid off, and I was depressed for a little while. So that's why I stopped doing them, because I was sad. And then when I stopped being sad, I got, like, pulled in doing, like, other stuff, and then I just haven't gotten back into it. I don't know if any of you guys have ADHD. I do, and the issue with ADHD is sometimes, like, once your brain has decided that it's, like, done with something, it's like, you're done. You don't need to do it anymore. And that's what my brain decided on those, even though it's not done. So getting, like, the motivation back to do it has been really difficult. But I really just need to, like, tell myself to shut up and sit down and finish it. Because, like, I'm so close. I think I only have 2 left to do. I'm almost there. And my brain was like, you're done. You don't need to do anymore. BT, if you come up here, I'm telling you, you're gonna get your tail stabbed. And I don't want that for you. Because then I have to take you to the vet, and then it's a whole thing, and then I have to explain that I was needle felting, and I stabbed you with it by accident, and then they're gonna ask me what needle felting is. And then it's gonna be a whole discussion. Stab, stab. We're gonna just put our joint shape in here. Oop! Stab this side. Excuse me, who's doing something over there? It sounds like trouble. Gotta get the spot. Get the spot over here. And then we got some legs. Look at that. Part's sticking out too much. We got some leggies, see? we're almost done, honestly. I'm just going to, this is the part I hate. Shield your eyes, because we're gonna stab the crotch. But we're gonna basically make like a hip line, which doesn't require anything. When I make the girls who are a little more like chunky, I'll add a belly and stuff like that, and the belly will be similar to how I do the other things where I make like a little round shape and blend out. But since she's like very athletic, she doesn't really have that. She would have like abs if anything, so. Just gonna add a hip line, even though you won't see it. It's just for future reference for myself. Like so. And we have, this is sticking out. Some parts sticking out. Here we go. We have a lady. We have a body, and we'd stick this on. Look at that. She's dancing. What a good dance. Hi, Jalissa. You should needle felt dolls of your dogs. I could. It would be dapper little men. Actually, I don't know. This one would be. Ugh. This one would be a. I don't know what you would be. A dapper dumb man? What do you think? Is that something you would be? Yeah? Are you confused? You're confused. He's confused. It's okay. Don't be confused. Thank you. The other one would be a mischievous scoundrel. Like a boy who lives in the streets who steals from you. That's what you would be. Let me check, make sure I have white arms. I do. Aha! White hands. So I think what we're gonna do, I could add more to her butt, but because she's gonna be covered, I'm not gonna worry about it too much, honestly. Because I'm gonna put an outfit on her. Just wanted something in there. Although I think I probably should fill out her chest a little more. But what we can do, at least, is glue the hands on. Which just takes some hot glue. So we'll hot glue these hands on, and then we'll finish up this stream and finish it up later. Let me get this hot. Well, actually, you know what? That hot glue is gonna take a while. Well, that's okay. We'll end it here. I'll show you what it looks like technically with the hands on. Like so. What is this? Oh, it's because this is like not flattened. Okay. There we go. So we're just gonna stick these hands on. This is basically what it would look like when we glue it on. And then we're gonna add the head. I have to add some neck here. And then we will add the feet on later. That's basically what we have right now. So I think next stream what we'll do is paint the head, and put the hair and ears on her and the tail, and then make some clothes. And yeah, I think that'll be good. Well, I'll just glue these on because you don't need to see. You know what hot gluing is like. I literally just fill this with hot glue and then stick it on, so it's not like it's that crazy. So I'll just glue these on later. But yeah, so I think we'll end it here because I also have to have dinner. And I don't want to hold up everybody else. So I hope you guys had fun watching this stream. If you have any last minute questions, let me know. If you want to see any other types of streams, let me know. If you want to see any certain videos, let me know. Just let me know. Just give me your opinions and your feelings and your thoughts on anything and all. Yeah. And then I'll try to schedule this next stream at a later date. I don't know exactly when, but I'll figure it out. So yeah, I'm gonna just wait for a second because what I'm saying is delayed, so I have to wait and see if anyone says anything before I log off. I'm gonna just see. Sorry I came late, but I'm still glad to be here. No problem. I'm also gonna post this. Okay. I'm also gonna post this on YouTube so that you'll be able to watch the whole thing. So no pressure. You're a cute boy. You're a cute boy. You're my cute boy. Even though you're a troublemaker and you like to get into trouble all the time. Alright, well, if that's the end of it, then that's the end of it. I love you. I love you too, Daniela. If I said your name wrong, I'm sorry. Okie dokie. This is nice ending music. So, goodbye. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your evening. Eat something good. Have a good time. And with that, I bid you adieu.